What's up, Misfits? This is Long Island Josh here with this guy, Red.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm here with Duly Appointed.
What's up?
All right, and we're here to talk WrestleMania 33, which happened tonight in Orlando, Florida.
Red light.
Green light. Red, what did you think?
We were talking about it just before we just started recording. Last year's was not. We didn't like last year, so this one was a lot better. But there was a lot. I feel like there was a lot of sleeper moments in this one. There was a few pop worthy moments. We'll get into that.
All right.
I think there's one that was the biggest pop worthy moment, but we'll get into that one also.
All right.
I wonder if we're going to agree on what the biggest moment is. I don't think we're going to.
We'll get there. But before we even get there, I always like to start these with, was it worth your time? So, Red, was this worth 6 hours?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have no complaints watching the whole thing. It's WWE programming. I mean, I know that you didn't watch all of it all the way through.
No. All right. Corey, Dooley, what did you think?
You could call me Corey. It's
okay. Yeah, Corey, was it worth 6 hours?
It's such an unfair question because, there's like nothing worth 6 hours on television ever.
What are you talking about? The people who spent their money to go front row for the 6 hour event definitely got their money's worth, no?
No, that's true. No, if they're being there live is entirely different than watching it on TV.
Was this worth $9.99 and whatever you value 6 hours of your time at?
It's worth $9.99. It was definitely worth $9.99. It was. I mean, by the time we got to Taker Roman, I'm like, end it. Like this is the match began. Like it was a long show. I mean, but this is what they do now. They do their long shows.
Well, yeah, it is.
It took a while for me to start thinking it was dragging, and that's good for them because I'll persevere, but I usually get to the point a little bit quicker than I did tonight.
Yeah, so let's get into it. The main event saw, the retirement of Undertaker as it sees. What did you guys think of the match?
I don't think he's retired.
You don't think he's retired? That's not symbolic of him retiring.
Nope, no, he'll be back next year.
It absolutely is. I think what Josh is saying is that it is symbolic of him retiring, but that doesn't mean anything.
Nope. Listen, WWE doesn't expect you to remember anything like week to week. Why would you remember that Taker possibly retired? He's back and he's going against Cena, WrestleMania 34.
No. I think this is it also.
Well, we'll see in 1 year.
All right. So the thing that the issue that I have about this is every time everybody doesn't like Roman Reigns. Everybody shits on Roman Reigns basically. And my only issue is that they always turn down the mic when the crowd boos during his entrance. Did you guys ever notice that?
Yeah. I mean, because
you're not supposed to boo, so they hide it from the TV audience.
Exactly.
If you're not going to do what WWE wants, then they mute
product. They do what they want to do.
We have no voice in what goes on here.
I forgot what that radio announcer.
You want to bring it to the table right now? I mean, you're still watching the show, aren't you?
Yeah, but I like how they don't want you to boo him, but I don't know who that radio announcer that they always have, the guy with the curly hair, the crazy hair.
Sam Roberts.
Yeah. He was in the crowd during the pre-show, and he even acknowledged it while they were interviewing. He goes, "These guys." When Roman Reigns comes out, these guys are just gonna boo him as loud as they can, and he acknowledges it. So it's like, okay, he acknowledges it, but Vince McMahon says no. He's the new face of the whole company.
Exactly, because that's what Vince wants. They're not booing; they're saying "ooh-ah," like when he calls for it. Ooh-ah.
They acknowledge the fact that people hate him at this point. They don't ignore it. They embrace it. They be like, oh, he's so polarizing. You love him or you hate him.
John Cena.
It's like John Cena, exactly. They haven't been protecting him to the point they were in the past because it's impossible. I mean, they've been like for like a solid year now. They've been saying like, hey, yeah, you love him or you hate him. Roman Reigns is the big dog. I'm not a good guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm the guy. Ever since that, which was right after Mania last year. They've been doing that.
So you guys? Well, hold on. Before we get into the pre-show, let's talk about the How'd you guys feel about Undertaker's performance in this match against Roman Reigns?
It's horrible.
He's a very old
Horrible.
man.
It's
It was
horrible.
it was
He's
kind
horrible
of
and old.
yeah, it
He's
was sad to
old.
watch him. Yeah, it was sad to watch him. He was gassed out, I think, in the first 5 minutes.
Well, let's start from the
He-
beginning. He didn't even walk the whole way down.
Oh, but you know what? I really enjoyed that entrance because
Yeah, that was a good
when
entrance.
when that plume of smoke, I was watching it with Josh, and when the plume of smoke came up, and I said, you know what? If that smoke clears and he's just standing there, that's fucking amazing.
And then it happened.
And then it happened.
Are you guys satisfied with the career of Undertaker? Him ending it here and throughout his whole career. I know Josh has some type of complaint about this, but we'll get to that point.
This isn't a bad enough moment to ruin his whole career, but it could have been better. There was botched spots in the match, and even the finale was screwed up because Roman's running the ropes and Undertaker doesn't know where he's supposed to get speared from.
In all honesty, I mean, there's no way that this one match sours such a long, illustrious career as the Undertaker. I mean, everybody's career has low points and high points, and then when they look back on it, you're obviously gonna shy away from the low points. This is a low point. So was hanging Big Boss Man from a cage. That was a low point too, and you haven't seen that since the time it actually happened on TV. So no, I mean, it's absolutely fine. Boy, is it overdue. When they show like an Undertaker retrospective, you're gonna see some Mania stuff, but you're from the recent Mania stuff, but I don't think you're really gonna see any footage from this match, from his match with Bray Wyatt the last few years. And I mean, the last year he was able to actually go at Mania was with Punk, and you're obviously not going to see that footage from that either because they're on such sour terms with him. You're going to see him throwing Mick Foley off the cage, which was like 20 years ago now. You're going to see his stuff, his first cage match, his first Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels. You're going to see all the high points. You're going to see maybe you'll even see American Badass Undertaker with his tag team run with Kane, with the Brothers of Destruction versus the Power Trip. You're gonna see all that when they look back on it. So it's probably one of the most storied careers in the WWE altogether because he's been around for so long and he did it so well for so long and he was at the top for so long. So I don't think this one match is going to put a sour note on it at all. I think you'll never see from it ever again, in all honesty.
Yeah, for me, just watching this whole thing, it was sad to watch him throughout the match. It was just sad to watch, but I kind of felt a little down about when he started taking out the gloves, and I knew that he was just gonna put it in the middle of the ring, and I've watched WWE, WWF wrestling forever now, and I remember when Undertaker first came in to WWE. I remember watching it first time. I was about 7 years old. At that time, I was a young Hulkamaniac, and just watching a lot of his career, the ups and downs. He had a lot of good matches, and he had a lot of bad matches. I mean, do we have to talk about the Punjabi prison match? Great Khali. And even though he had a lot of bad, some of the bad performers, wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, he tried his best to go through those matches. Then you saw Undertaker versus Undertaker. You saw the Ministry years. You saw the American Badass years. You saw him come back with the whole dead man gimmick. And
I don't like with Corey. I don't think that this ruins his career, but it's about time.
Yeah,
and I don't think it ends. I think he comes back next year.
I think this is the end of it. After a long career that he's had, he's hanging it up, and like Corey says, the last time, I agree with Corey. The last time he had a high profile match was with Punk, and we won't see that because, as Corey pointed out,
he's had every year a high profile match with Undertaker at WrestleMania, every single one. The last one where he actually had a match and was able to perform at the Undertaker level, I think was with Punk.
Well, I think where it started going downhill for hit like the performance wise is when he went against Brock Lesnar. That's when he got the concussion. And
He looked bad in that match.
yeah,
Honestly, he maybe should have hung it up then.
Right,
But
but the fact is, he didn't. Oh, so tonight, Taker probably had his last match. I don't think he did, but Roman won, and they're pushing Roman the same way they push Cena. Like that's the real story here because Taker might be done, but it's the age of Roman. What are we getting tomorrow on Raw? What's the next few years going to be? Like I'm upset with Mania because of this type of stuff.
I don't know what you expect him to do. I mean, it's business as usual. It's just a notch in Roman's belt. That's how I feel about
Oh, you're right.
him being Taker. It's all it is a notch in the look at Roman Reigns. He's so dominating belt. Where do you go next with Roman Reigns? I don't know.
He's got.
I know
Brock, right?
Lesnar and yeah, but that's the rumors. That's for next year, so you keep them apart. I don't know. Back to Braun. I want to see more of that. During the match, I was like, you know what? This would have been better if Taker wasn't a part of this. And the main event of WrestleMania was Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, and you let them just go and have a good match. It may not mean as much, but hell, it would have been more entertaining.
I understand that they wanted to end this match with or end the whole program with Undertaker leaving the way he did, but I really feel like the original main event was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg for the Universal Championship, which this was actually better than all the encounters that Goldberg's had so far ever since he came back at Survivor Series. This was actually entertaining. This actually brought people off out of their seats, getting them popping and everything.
I mean, it was. I read something on Squared Circle that I felt was very apt to the match. This match was like two people who are noobs to a fighting game only spamming the one moves that they know, whether it be German suplex or spear.
They started this match with all their finishers. They had 3 finishers each and just went straight into it.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. He kept going with. I honestly thought he was gonna keep going past how many. What was it? German suplexes
10.
that he did to Cena.
Oh, I don't know how
16.
many.
I think it was
but
16.
he did 10 here, I think.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna keep going and just keep going past that, but he stopped at 10 and then only coughing for that.
There's really not much to even say about it. The German suplex spear. Actually, I think my favorite spot of the whole match was right in the beginning, and they didn't really get a good camera shot of it, which actually kind of added to it. Where Lesnar's German suplexes him, and by the time he's done suplexing him, Goldberg's already up and hits him with a spear.
Oh, that was that was a wonderful spot. I enjoyed that one as well.
I enjoyed that a lot, but there's not much really to say about the match. Lesnar won. There you go, new Universal Champion. We'll probably never see Goldberg ever again.
I was about to say, is this the end of Goldberg?
We'll see him next year for the Hall of Fame.
All right, so let's. I want to know what your guys' because I already know what the top moment of the night was. The whole night. What you guys felt was the top moment for you guys?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
I think the top moment of the whole night, and I am dead serious when I say this, is when John Cena got down on one knee and proposed to Nikki Bella.
This is. I remember when I text Josh and I go, "Oh my god, what?" I put WTF. You knew this because he kept telling me this over like months in time. I'm like, what the hell?
It was super obvious it was going to happen.
Of course, it was going to happen.
But
I was just wrong that he didn't give her a ring that was just a mini WWE title logo.
Oh, that ring
was huge.
That diamond.
So anyway, I mean, when you really all think about it, wrestling is wrestling. It's a TV show. Marriage and love is honestly, I mean, way more important than any of the things that we're talking about here. So for that reason, I'd say that's the number one moment of the entire show. My wife loved it. I mean, we watched Total Divas, and she actually had a pretty good point about the fact that this is just going to give prudence to all those girls who think that they can go out and change a guy Because from the beginning of the show, many years ago, Cena's made it super clear that he is never marrying Nikki Bella. And guess what?
Are you implying
Now
that
he
Total
is.
Bellas is booked better than WWE?
I'm saying that this is an amazing payoff for Total Divas, not Total Bellas. Total Bellas is a spin-off
Whatever.
show
Same
where they
difference.
all live in the house and have to follow John Cena's house rules. But
Is that the
no,
real premise?
yes.
They live in his
Yeah.
The
house?
premise of
Yeah,
Total Bellas is that
didn't you at least see
is
the video package at the beginning?
No, I don't pay attention to these
to-
things.
Total
I watched
Bella,
The
Total
Walking
Divas
Dead.
is just their lives. Total Bellas is when it was when Nikki was recovering from her neck injury. So E was like, we need more footage for things. So they had they had Brie and Daniel Bryan move into John Cena's house along with the Bella's brother and his wife and Johnny Ace and the Bella's mom, all living under the same roof. And the whole thing was about John Cena and his house rules. But that's not what this podcast is about.
Ridiculous.
So
No,
leave that at that.
this match in general, I was not interested least moment. But when this whole thing, like seeing Cena and Nikki Bella, I understand that they're in a real life relationship, but every time I see them on TV and they're kissing each other, it kind of cringy to me, and I'm just all like, eh. And then
You don't watch Soul Divas?
no. That's I got more important things to do with my time.
Yeah, like watch pro wrestling. Just saying.
Hey, it's physical entertainment. I'm not going for that drama entertainment.
So anyway, if you want to touch quickly on the match, because I don't think anybody would want to touch on it again. Match was pretty lame, except for the Miz was super over with this crowd.
Oh,
And
he was rushing it in.
He played it up so well. He is such an asset to this company. He needs to be strapped ASAP. I would put him into a program with Orton starting Tuesday and get that belt on him as soon as possible. Because honestly, the Miz is money. He is great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's underrated in every single way. And the thing is, he's such a good heel to the point where being such a good heel usually ends up baby facing you. And I hadn't seen that until tonight, and I hadn't won that until tonight. But I think we're ready for another Miz babyface run after a little bit with the belt, with him being a heel, and I think he can do very, very well with it on the SmackDown brand.
Yeah, I agree with that whole thing. I think it's time for him to move on up to the championship scene, and he has gone over. He was really over tonight, and he was really over with the Hall of Fame crowd as well when they panned the camera on him, and he looked like once the crowd popped for him, he looked surprised, and he was like, "What the hell?" And then he started going with it. But this match, I wasn't really paying attention to it all the way until Cena decided he wanted to grab the mic and propose, which is a big high standard for any lady that's single or in a relationship with somebody and saying, "How come you can't propose to me that way?" It's like, okay, well, thank you, Cena, for stepping that up.
It depends on the girl that you're with. I know my wife would be mortified if I had ever proposed to her in front of like people. Like like we kept that private, and that's the way that she would have wanted it. So I mean, everyone's different, but for yes, the pro wrestlers proposing within the biggest stage of them all during the Ultimate Thrill Ride, that's perfect for that, most definitely. Josh, what was your number one moment?
I don't really have a moment, to be honest, but I guess
He was in and out.
yeah, I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Didn't okay.
Watch any of the thing.
Yeah, my number one moment, and this is I think a lot of people's number one moment. The Hardys are back. They had a huge pop, and I wasn't even expecting it. I thought there was something was, the whole thing was that the Usos didn't have any challenges for their tag team championship. So I think a lot of people were expecting that until the New Day came out and introduced them, told them that there's going to be a fatal 4-way, and I that's when everything clicked, and I'm like, okay, ladder matches, tag team championships, the Hardys, okay, why not?
It does though. Reinforce that SmackDown is still the secondary brand, because Is anyone there? Did I lose connection?
No, we're here. No, go on.
Oh, okay. I thought I
Because
lost
my
connection
whole
there.
issue here.
Because red light cut out. Like, it does reinforce that Raw is still the #1 brand and the flagship show. Even though they for a hot second when they first did the draft, they tried keeping everything even. But I mean, boy, could SmackDown have used the Hardys? I mean, it looks like they're coming in as a tag team.
It's a nostalgia.
If this was EWR, they would not be upper mid card or main eventers. They would be mid card guys, which is a shame because Jeff Hardy is way more than that, and Matt Hardy is way more than that now. I would have liked to see them honestly come in separate with Jeff on Raw and Matt on SmackDown, and do it that way. Keep them separate and let them have their own runs. Jeff being Jeff, and Matt being Broken Matt. I mean,
whereas I wanted them on SmackDown being Broken Hardys.
I mean, they went through all this litigation for the gimmick. Like, it's not like TNA was going to use it on somebody else. It was
it's still going on.
No, it's still it's still going on.
They have to. They didn't seem all that broken when they came out tonight.
No, they came out to their old theme,
which is what they would have to come out to because it's what people recognize. But
Yeah,
they could have came out to Jeff's singles theme. So at least they didn't do that.
No.
I mean, I really hope we see, and quickly, because the longer you wait, the worse off it's going to be, unless you tease it for a while, them becoming broken,
Yeah, I think this whole lawsuit with the TNA and everything with the broken gimmick, I think it's prolonging it. But Matt Hardy was out there, everybody, the whole crowd was just basically delete, and calling Brother Nero to Jeff Hardy. So, and Matt Hardy even acknowledged it. He was doing the hands, the arm signatures and everything to the crowd. And I think eventually, if this whole thing blows over, we'll see the broken gimmick in WWE.
Hopefully.
All right. So we had 2 women's matches on the show.
Oh yeah. So Red. Your moment was the Hardys. Okay.
Yeah, and Josh said he really didn't have any because he was in and out.
Right.
So what? We got 2 women's matches. How'd you guys feel about the 2 women's matches? SmackDown and Raw.
I think SmackDown's was better, but I didn't watch the Raw.
Rushed.
SmackDown was a cluster.
I mean, it was a cluster. It was quick. It was rushed because it was already like 11 p.m. when those girls started coming out, and I mean, it was getting late. I mean, I think the Raw women's match was tons better than the SmackDown one too. But I'm interrupting. Continue, Josh. What your thoughts on the SmackDown match?
No, I enjoyed it, I guess, but this card was just too long, and I don't know.
You didn't watch the Raw one, did you?
No, I had it on the background. I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
It's like yeah.
The Raw one I felt was better. SmackDown was just a cluster. They need other women. They need someone like Asuka to just come up and dominate that brand, while these women on Raw just keep doing the same thing over and over. They just keep going back and forth with each other, and at least they're not doing hot potato with the title so far. Bayley won it. She's still the Raw Women's Championship or champion. And then who was it? Nia Jax. Nia Jax got out first. It was smart enough for the women to take them out first, but I think the match itself got some heat for Sasha Banks being the second one to lose. But I don't know. How'd you feel about it?
I was impressed. I thought the match was good. I was very impressed on how well they protected Nia. She looked pretty good. I mean, there's not much she needs to do to get over with the style of wrestling that she needs to work. And I thought that she's doing a good job. I think she's miles ahead of what she was when she first came up even to Raw. And I think she's gotten a lot better in the like 8 months it's been since like the draft. There was this one spot though where they did like I think it was like 2 of the girls did a backdrop to Nia together, and she folded in on herself. I thought that she had like broken her damn spine because
Oh,
girls
all
that
that
big
one
shouldn't-
spot where I think it was Bailey and Sasha Banks were both doing that at the same time. They couldn't get her over, so Charlotte kicked her right in the face, and then she just went shooting backwards. Folded up.
Yes, that she folded up like an accordion, and I'm like, oh, she's dead. Like, I actually went, ooh, not much really gets me anymore, but that got me. Like, I thought that spot was better than the She Tower of Doom that they did, where they all power bombed her. I thought the match was good. I think they made the right decision keeping the belt on Bailey. She won it clean as a sheet, which is important too. Boy, honestly, they need another woman up on Raw. Asuka's not going anywhere from NXT 'cause she still has the belt, and they need to freshen up that division because it's just those four of those girls, and they obviously don't want to do anything with Summer Rae because the people are conditioned to believe that Summer Rae and Alicia Fox are like they're no good. They're not good enough for these women. It's these women are wrestlers, and these two other girls on the brand are, just there. Oh, Summer Rae has just not even there. But what we need is the evolution of Emma. We need her to debut tomorrow. Like, we need her back. We need her to be inserted into this division because Dana's on the lower end also. You need to elevate these lower women to make it convincing that they could have a match with Sasha or Bailey or Charlotte. I understand that there's always going to be I understand that in wrestling there's going to be mid-carders and like jobbers and but that's fine when you have a roster of like 25 to 30 guys that have people at different levels. When you have a roster of 6, they all need to be on the same level. End of story. Anyone needs to be able to beat anyone else. You need to have the ROH 2008 mentality where even Delirious can beat your world champion on a given night. And that's the only way it's going to work for the women right now. And they need more bodies. And I'm ranting.
No. I understand with the. I think Emma's the one that they, like you said, needs to come back, repackage with the same thing.
Paige can come back also and have cum on her face.
But I think Emma was doing good in NXT when she went to NXT. She was keeping up with the likes of Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch and whatnot. So bring her into that. Just not have it just a 4 every week, every pay-per-view.
It's really frustrating.
All right, Shane McMahon, AJ Styles.
Loved it. I absolutely loved every moment of that match. I thought it was great. I thought Shane was fantastic. AJ is always fantastic. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was a waste at all of AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I thought it was fun. I didn't mind it going on first. Once it really picked up and was what it was going to be. AJ's magic and can work with anyone. He can work with a broomstick. But Shane McMahon did a damn good job that entire match. Flopped around like a crazy person. And I don't know. It may be my match of the night, in all honesty. I enjoyed it that much.
AJ Styles, I know they're trying to build this whole company around the Roman Reigns now, but AJ Styles has to be hands down the face of the company. Not just SmackDown, but the whole face of the company. When he comes out, either he's face or he's heel, he's getting a big pop from the crowd. And I like this match. I had no complaints about this match. Shane McMahon looked pretty good against AJ Styles, no matter what Josh would tell you.
I didn't think he looked good.
Words. What didn't you like about the match?
Well, okay, still, Shane's punches are bad, and it wasn't smooth. It was
he had better punches tonight.
Did you see that back elbow he hit?
I feel like this whole thing is judged on Shane being Shane. If Shane was anyone but Shane, then you'd be like, no, this person does not deserve to be in the ring. And I don't think he was supposed. Like, what a waste of AJ. I would have put him up with someone else other than Shane. And in the storyline, Shane's the bad guy here. AJ got screwed out of being in the main event of WrestleMania like 3 weeks in a row. It's ridiculous.
You sound like a mark.
But if you watch the show, because those are the 3 weeks I actually watched the show, and he, AJ was wrong here.
I mean, I'm not gonna deny that.
But AJ's not gonna lose any position where he's at. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a rematch between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. I'm pretty sure that AJ Styles is gonna get thrown into that.
Nah, he's going to Raw, bro.
Oh, he's gonna go to Raw later. How soon did they say they're gonna do the redraft? Are they gonna do a redraft?
They
Or
haven't
they just
said anything. They could do it tomorrow if they want to. I can see that being it's time to shirk things up again. I mean,
but either way, even if he stays on SmackDown or he goes to Raw, his position is not gonna change. He's gonna be in that main event picture. He's gonna have that championship status no matter where he goes. And I think this whole thing just happened to go with the whole, okay, Shane, you screwed me up all these times that I won number one contenderships. Match, I don't think was a waste on AJ Styles. It was actually pretty decent.
I can see the match definitely was decent. I felt better than decent. I thought the match was great. I could definitely see a tomorrow night on Raw. A trade has been made. Or the new GM is announced. He's like, I've already worked out our trade with Daniel Bryan. We've traded Seth Rollins for AJ Styles because it would make so much sense. But it makes too much sense for them to actually do it because AJ has issues with Shane. Rollins has issues with Triple H and Stephanie. You flip-flop them. You flip-flop both those guys.
Speaking of Rollins, Triple H just says Rollins.
That's good too. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it too. I enjoyed more looking at Stephanie McMahon in leather pants. Did you watch it, Josh, at all?
Nope.
Of course
he watched The Walking Dead.
I watched The Walking Dead, and I haven't watched that in a
it.
season and a half. So I was trying to catch up on what was going on there.
So Triple H, obviously, that bike was made by Orange County Choppers because that's Triple H and the titles are apparently butt buddies because they make all the belts now, and so that was 100% a chopper meant for him because if you actually took a closer look at it, whenever you were able to from the constantly changing camera shots, you were able to see on the front there was a headlight in the shape of his logo. The back of it was painted in a certain way. Some of the studs on the belt looked like they were his logo as well. It was very customized, and it was obviously made to have Stephanie right on the back also. I don't know why they had cops, but whatever.
Because it was unsanctioned.
No, I think it was just the whole authority. Oh, we got authorities here with us too.
I guess. I felt they felt a little bit out of place with the entrance, but they're like, screw it, we got these cops. Yeah, they'll come out with me.
Yeah, well, the whole Terminator thing a couple years back didn't make sense either. But hey, we'll just go with that one as well.
But at least it was a consistent theme. This was like, are you a biker? Are you?
He's an outlaw, but he gets along with the cops.
Are you an outlaw? Are you the authority with cops?
He's the American Badass 2.0.
To speak of Seth Rollins' entrance, though, he's like a freaking knight in shining armor. I loved it. This is full, very Game of Thrones inspired, obviously, with the whole entire King Slayer nickname. And he comes out with the torch and he lights. I'm doing air quotes with my fingers, but you can't see. He lights the floor on fire, and the fire whooshes forward and does the ring and the side things. Also, I loved it. I thought it was cool. But I'm a dork for stuff like that. But the match itself. It wasn't anything to write home to your mama about when it comes to wrestling, but it told a story. It told a story, a very concise story, and that story is my knee. It hurts. It's been injured. I have injured it again during this match. Woe is me. I can't win now because my knee is injured. But look at me, I win. That's pretty much the story of the match.
Yeah, it was a good match overall. It was just kind of, I think, after the whole Hardy, the whole with them coming back and everything. This match, the crowd was here and there popping, but it wasn't crazy anything. But I enjoyed the match overall. It was pretty good. It was good to see Triple H kind of taking that kick to the head, staggering along, push Stephanie McMahon off the apron, and she goes to the table.
It's a great spot. I'm a little surprised to do a spot like that in 2017. They've been trying to avoid women's violence, which is so ironic because we're talking about pro wrestling. They try to avoid women's violence like no tomorrow for a long time. Well, men on women's violence, because remember, it was a time where Bubba Ray Dudley would be throwing women through tables like it was nothing.
And the elder.
Oh yeah.
Everyone would go nuts for it too. Oh my God, it's so crazy to think that was a thing. But I mean, with the whole PG and the Mattel partnership and sponsors like KFC and Snickers, it's kind of a weird choice they would make that decision to. I know it's not going to put anything in jeopardy, but even to think about doing it in the first place, it's like I could take a piss on the side of my house and things are really gonna happen, but why would I do it just in case like a cop came? Like I know it's a really weird analogy, but
How to explain that?
I could just not do that, and everything would be fine. So I thought it was a weird choice, honestly, as soon as they did it, but they did it, and the match ended shortly after, and yeah.
Well, Stephanie McMahon in leather pants. All right. Next is Jericho versus Kevin Owens.
Yes. I think they made the wrong choice. I think Jericho should have held on to it because apparently, well, spoiler alert, Owens wins. I think the spot of the match was the fingertip on the ropes.
The knuckle on the rope.
The knuckle, yeah, the thing. I think that's the funniest part of the match, where he was able to get the ropes by a fingertip. Right, what'd you think of the match overall?
Overall, I enjoyed the match. It was actually pretty good. There was a huge list of Jericho that was on the entryway when he came out. Jericho had not his sparkly jacket, but he had a sparkly scarf. And
yes, I popped for that.
Yeah,
I popped for the big list too. I popped for Jericho. Jericho's great.
Oh, overall, the whole match was pretty good, and they went back and forth. It was pretty even back and forth, but I agree. I feel like that Jericho should have won. He should have kept it
because he's apparently sticking around another month. So you might as well keep it on him and just do the blow off again with a stip at Payback, which they're going to do anyway. Like I don't know. Jericho's manias are limited at this point also because he is getting up there, and one day, while he could still go now, he's just going to drop off very quickly.
There's a rumor that this might be the last year that he's just gonna just wind down, do it all. I know Josh is gonna be. I know Josh is gonna be like, no. He's gonna be here for another 10 years, like Undertaker.
I think Jericho's going to be around for a while.
Could.
Why would he?
Could.
Why would he retire? He kept himself in good shape. YRG DDP Yoga fixed him. He's always been smart. He never really gets injured. He works a safe style. There's no reason for him to retire.
He does not work a safe style.
Well, how he does the line.
He does moonsaults. He does the kick to the ropes and then kick to the person on the apron.
It's all just high. Those are impacting on the knees, but. Still, he can prevent those. I don't see Jericho leaving the next 3 years. He'll take his breaks, go do his music band stuff, but he can always come back, work random programs, and then again, he's always got a backup career as Bob Bobsky and Southpaw Regional. Clint Bobsky. You could have him around for years.
Jericho just working like backstage interviews when he's done with his career.
I'd see it.
Wearing those big ass glasses.
You can't do it because he's too much of a personality, and that is the opposite thing that you want. That's the whole entire point of that Clint. You realize the whole entire point of the Clint Bobsky thing was
he's better than everyone. Yeah.
That yes, he's more charismatic than the wrestler he's interviewing.
What are you talking
Like,
about? Jumping,
by a
John
wide
Johnson.
Yeah, that was TJP, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Josh, you did not watch this one either.
What, this match?
Yeah.
I did. It's just
Did you really?
I did, but I don't
He
expect
stopped in the
anything
middle of the
bad
show.
from these two. They
The
lost
match
me
was
at
the match
Cena.
was fine.
Yeah, but that's what I expect from these two. You know, they definitely delivered, but it was expected that they would. And
That's all you got for this. It's what you expected, but you don't have a synopsis of the match overall.
No, exactly.
Guys, we're burying the lead with the entire show, and that's the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So I'd like to get to the main event.
Yeah, let's go to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Did you even watch it, Josh?
No, I did not.
No, you didn't. Of course not.
I did. Here's the headline: Braun didn't win. That's the headline.
This was actually like where all the participants in the ring just got smart and they're like, let's take out the big guys. It's like you don't see that, and then it's just like they get all thrown out. It was actually pretty satisfying, but I really wanted to see Braun Strowman go all the way.
I honestly believe this is what went down. The idea was, okay, Braun's gonna win, and they got everyone in the room together who's gonna be in the match. Okay, Braun's gonna win unless one of you has a celebrity that you have a close enough tie to where you can convince him to come to Mania and be a part of the match. And Mojo's like, me. I'm bros with Rob Gronkowski. Vince is like, good enough. You're winning the match now.
Book it.
You're gonna win it now just because you're friends with Rob Gronkowski. And I swear to you, I really believe that's how it went down. Because what happened, to explain what happens is when it's down to the final three of Mojo Rawley, Jinder Mahal, and Killian Dane. Is that his last name? Dane?
Yeah, Killian Dane.
Killian Dane from Sanity. For some reason, the only member of Sanity in this match. I don't understand why you would just have him, but whatever. And he made it to the final three, but whatever. Jinder Mahal throws like a soda onto. It looks like he was gonna spit in Gronk's face.
And I thought he was. I'm surprised he didn't.
Don't you fucking dare! So he just throws the soda like on his shoulder, not even in his face.
Yeah, he had a mouthful of it.
He had a mouthful of water.
Had it drizzle down his body, and then he just throws the cup at him.
Yeah, because I thought he was gonna spit in his face, and I have to be positive that like Gronk's like, you fucking do that, like. So anyway, he throws the soda at his shoulder, not in his face, and then he goes to turn around, and then Gronk goes over the railing to go into the ring to come out from the crowd, and there's this one security officer who was obviously not in on the fact that he's.
I applaud her for doing her job.
She did her job.
What was going on?
Running from the other side, one of the other side of the ring, to be like, no sir, stop sir, and then like a bunch of suits and a bunch of reps like no, go away, he's part of the show. Like, he gets in the ring, he like football tackles. He football tackles Jinder. And if you know anything about football, Rob Gronkowski is a tight end who catches the football. He'll block, but he's not going to tackle anybody like that. He don't play defense. And it's set up for the win for Mojo, which ended with Mojo asking Gronk to slap him in the chest as they went back to the panel for some reason.
I was like, okay, she's slapping in the chest.
Out. But
they're going crazy.
The match, I mean, Mojo Rawley won the 100 Giant Battle Royal. That happened. Anything else we're talking about? Everything?
Austin Aries versus Neville. I don't know if you guys watched that one.
I watched it. Actually, when I turned on Mania, Neville was on his way to the ring. I was disappointed. In all honesty, I thought these two can do a lot more. I thought they would work a more indie style. I feel like if this match had gone on during the CWC, it would be fantastic. But I don't know what it is. These guys that know how to work, they don't let them do it. I mean, I thought the match. Honestly, the Neville's last good match was against Aleister Black at that UK tournament. I was disappointed.
I enjoyed this match, but I agree with you. I feel like it was being held back. They could have done a lot more. They were put on the pre-show, but I think Austin Aries wanted to do more. But it's a pre-show match, just like how the
You know
Intercontinental
something?
Championship match was put on the pre-show.
The fact that it was a pre-show match, they got more time than they would have on the main card because the match. I think the match was like a solid 10 minutes, and you could do a lot with that. And I mean, yeah, they hit some spots. They told a little story about his submission versus his submission. They hit their moves. He hit a 450. It it was just disappointing for what because I've seen a lot of matches from Neville that were good when he was Pac, and I've seen a ton of work from Austin Aries over the course of his career, and I know he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, bar none. And he hasn't shown that at all in WWE. In all honesty, it's 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 whatever. But maybe
This
it's
last,
maybe it's
yeah,
just his age get catching up with him also.
the last point I have about this match is that I was really surprised. This was in the first hour, kind of like towards the beginning of the first hour, the kickoff show or the pre-show. And what I was surprised about is the crowd was actually all in their seats during this match. Like there was not just like patches here and there. They were all in their seats for this. And I don't think it was like that last year. I think last year they had that whole
They had an
ticket
issue.
debacle thing.
They had
Yeah.
problems in the stadium. I mean, obviously Florida, the Citrus Bowl has got their stuff together. They've hosted WrestleManias before, so they know the drill. I mean, Dallas is the first time ever at the AT&T Center last year, so at the AT&T Center, um, AT&T Stadium,
Yeah.
and they I guess didn't have their stuff together.
All right, Josh, you want to send us off on this one?
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this wrestling recap, please hit that like button. If you want to hear more wrestling review podcasts along with the other stuff we do on the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, please leave a comment.